fans, you see how he has arrived to this third-round match.
Andrei Chesnikov, tough Russian, but has never won on grass. And then his opponent, Argentine-born Belgian, Eduardo Masso. And Dick, I know you enjoyed that match.
Well, Masso with the moss. He and Agassi in a hair contest. It was hairy indeed.
Tough to pick a winner, but Andre won the match over the first left-handed Belgian he'd ever played, or so he says.
15-all.
Derek Rostagno, former Stanford All-America.
Against the Spanish Davis Cupper, Tomas Carbonet, and then tough little Peruvian, Jaime Izaga.
At court.
Andre gets more comfortable on the grass. He had grassophobia for years, refused to come near this place. Fainted at the sight of grass. There isn't much in Las Vegas, so he was okay.
Had lendulitis for a while.
But now he got to the quarters last year, and he's very happy at Wimbledon.
30-all.
First ace for Rostagno. They've met once before in Orlando last year. Agassi prevailed. Double fault, and Agassi with another chance to break. Second double fault from Rostagno, whose record here at Wimbledon 11-5 career.
Andre is a very quick man around the court.
They're hearing that tone on their cab.
It's long, and Agassi again sitting on a point for a 4-love lead in this opening set. 3 times the Grand Slam finalist, Andre Agassi. U.S. Open, 2 times the French. A mile high up the elevator shaft. Agassi and Rostagno fighting for a victory today that would send them to the second week, round of 16. Everyone plays on Monday, all the men, all the women. Version of the NCAA semifinals. It's in some eyes the best day in tennis. All the best playing on one day. Ace and a service winner, and Rostagno has his first game.
Agassi leads by 3-1 first set.
Derek Rostagno. Andre Agassi. Rostagno, son of a lawyer, very talented musician is his father, and so is Rostagno.
About 15.
Plays the drums and pianos, but Jim Courier also favors the drums, and he was timpanied right out of center court earlier today.
A base act by Earl Hobson.
native of Las Vegas, Andre Agassi.
30-15.
Nick Bollettieri, his coach, is here. They had a brief falling out this year when Brian Teacher took over the coaching. Brian Teacher, who once won the Australian Open. Nick said, I told Andre, you do whatever you want to do. I'm here. If you want to come back, there's Nick. And he came back. Nick is very casual about these things. Monica Seles left him. A lot of people thought he was going to get embroiled in that. He didn't. He said, fine. Enjoyed having her around.
Game, Agassi.
Game to Agassi. He leads 4-1. Opening set. Round of 32. Wimbledon 92.
Time.
As we return to the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, a look at our first Xerox Sports Facts. The question is, who is the only player to qualify at Wimbledon and reach the semifinals in the same year? Think about that. We'll give you the answer after this game. Andre Agassi leading 4-1. Opening set. Derek Rostagno to serve.
Rostagno has started slowly. He's tried to play a lot of baseline with Andre, which is a mistake. I think he has to go with his talents, which lie at the net. He has a long reach, and he's playing the kind of point that he must play to beat Agassi.
Also scheduled today, John McEnroe, David Wheaton over on court 1. That match has not begun. When it does, we'll go back and forth, keep you up to date on both of these key Saturday midweek tussles at Wimbledon.
40 love.
Well, the 3 points of this game for Rostagno have to build some confidence.
Wait.
Remarkable the way Agassi can take this ball so quickly right off the court. Bing bong. It's like ping pong.
And then for Rostagno to even get it back.
Yeah.
40-15.
He's going to pay for this one.
40-30.
He knows the point is finito.
Oh, double fault. So from 40 love to deuce, the third double fault in his 3 service games.
Advantage of Rostagno.
When he was at Stanford, Dick Gould, the famed coach there with the Cardinal, thought that Rostagno might well have been the most talented player he'd ever coached. Never quite lived up to that potential as a pro.
Boy, does that cover a lot of ground.
Doesn't it?
What players Gould has had out there. John McEnroe was one of them. Patrick McEnroe. You
David
go down
Wheaton.
the list. Pat Dupre. My goodness.
Game, Rostagno.
Roscoe Tanner.
Yeah.
Agassi leads by 4 games to 2 for set.
And 4-2 Agassi. A check of our Xerox Sports Facts. Who is the only player to qualify to get into Wimbledon, then go all the way to the semifinals the same year? John McEnroe, 1977, lost to Connors in the semifinal.
But Andre Olhovsky could tie that, couldn't he?
That's right. Qualified through Roehampton, and he's through the first 3 rounds with his victory, his shocker over Courier today. But Courier, again, handled himself so well in that interview, but I think he's winning fans in favor internationally.
Boy, he set an example for tennis players who are not very good about these things.
30 love.
I thanked him for coming in. He said, did I have a choice? I said, now, you know, Jim, you're not required to do that. He said, I know, but it's part of my job, win or lose. And he's absolutely right, and I wish more tennis players felt that way.
So don't we all? They're the toughest to get to know of any group of athletes. As Agassi records his second ace. Of all the sports, and I've been blessed in covering almost all of them, the tennis players are the toughest to get to know.
Well, their unions got it all wrong, the ATP. They try to sequester them. Their agents are the same way. They think they're guarding Fort Knox or something. And they are.
Game Agassi.
Andre Agassi holds it love and is a game away from the opening set.
Agassi leads 5 games to 2 first set.
NBC's coverage of Wimbledon continues Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. and Thursday and Friday afternoons at 1 p.m. Plus nightly updates at 11:35 p.m. All concluding with a double serving of breakfast at Wimbledon, Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. The championships, Wimbledon. Coverage continues all this week on NBC.
Derek Rostagno down 2-5, down a break, trying to extend this opening set. New balls.
Well, he's only down a break. And you can't get too anxious at 2-5. Just concentrate on holding and not think about breaking.
Love.
Boy, that's a nice half-volleying touch.
Love.
Well, after looking at all that clay, ruby red on some days, amber on others, copper tone, depending on the moisture. Here we are on grass. Enjoy it while you see it, because this court will be worn down by the final.
40 love.
Third ace. Well, he's 3 and 3 aces to double faults. Good service game for Rostagno. It's 5-3. Rostagno, a bit of a free spirit, Bud. Did you ever take a ride in one of his Volkswagen buses? He used to have, what, a couple, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast as he started as a pro, and kind of traveled and lived in his own bus.
Well, he likes to look around. He's a little broader than most tennis players, I'd say. And
15 love.
it was an interesting period about 4 years ago. You know, he could play for Italy in the Davis Cup because of his antecedents, and he came to Italy and Rome and offered his services, and because he knew he'd never play for the United States.
30 love.
But they weren't interested. I think his feelings were hurt a little bit.
Father born in Italy and raised in Argentina. He and his mother, a German, born in Paraguay, so it's really an international set.
And he speaks fluent Italian.
30-15.
Agassi, of course, the son of a Iranian boxer. His dad on the 48 and 52 Olympic teams for Iran. Mike, now a employee of the major casino in Las Vegas.
40-15.
And he told me once he's a little disappointed that Andre doesn't play Olympic tennis. But Andre said, well, I'm playing Davis Cup for the United States, and my schedule works out, and I've got plenty of time to play the Olympics. But it doesn't always work out that way.
2 points for the set. And so it is. Andre Agassi owns the opening set, 6-3. Coming up next, the Golden Road to Barcelona continues on NBC with coverage of the U.S. track and field trials, plus hard-hitting action from the U.S. Olympic box-offs. You'll see decathletes Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson in action. Before their Olympic showdown, Dan and Dave must first prove themselves at the trials, plus the U.S. Olympic box-offs final battle to determine which 12 American boxers will compete for gold in Barcelona. That's all coming up next on NBC. Second set, Rostagno serves
15 love.
after Agassi owns the opener 6-3.
Rostagno with a slow start, losing the first 3 games of the match. Seemed uncomfortable, unlike him.
30 love.
There's too much heat.
15.
He's 26 now, 4 years older than Agassi. Southern Californian. Brentwood.
40-15.
Fourth ace.
For serve. $40-30.
Jay Schneider, an American, is the umpire. And the net judge is an Englishman, Roy. There's Jay Schneider. Roy Fortescue Newton is the net judge, and he has good hands. I've played tennis with him, actually. He's quite a good tennis player. Yeah, there's Roy.
It's
You can
bee
see
or a
it's
gnat flying
particularly
around.
good thumb, because sometimes you'll miss a let with that forefinger, but you can catch it with the thumb.
Meanwhile, Rostagno trying to chase away a bee. We've had some
Deuce.
big ones flying around here, bumblebees.
Yesterday, there was a huge one. We had to close our window. I thought he was going to come in.
Ate half your sandwich.
The killer bees of Wimbledon. Remember when Pam Shriver had to stomp one to death? We heard from the ASPCA. Oh, it was terrible.
Worth another column in the Globe, I know.
Oh, it was.
So from 40-15 to deuce for Rostagno.
Advantage Rostagno.
Agassi flashing some brilliant backhands in this game.
Deuce.
Tee off time. Oh, choice. Well,
Advantage Agassi.
in 2 successive points, Andre shows you what he can do with that backhand. A ripping return and a very soft, fluttery lob.
with it a chance to get an early lead in the second set.
Which would really hurt Derek. He was 40-15 in this game.
The backhands of Agassi earns him an early break in the second set.
Well,
Second set.
he does have a forehand, which he sets this up.
To Dick and Bud on center court.
All right, Hannah, that'll begin at 12 noon Eastern time. Hope you'll be with us. It was a sensational match, the talk of this 92 tournament, McEnroe and Cash, and we'll hope to see McEnroe a bit later today.
15 love.
A painful break for Derek Rostagno. Opening game of the second set. This is when you really have to consolidate and play tough. You've lost the first set. He goes ahead 40-15, but Agassi won't let him coast to a win and is up a break now.
15 all.
Meanwhile, Agassi, after fighting to hold to open the match, had a break point against, has really been in control. Oh, he's doing everything right.
It was very good for Andre to play doubles with John McEnroe at the French Open, and you'll see why right here. He suddenly decides to take advantage of a wonderful ground stroke. Of course, that was a volley that anybody could have made, but he is volleying better.
40-15.
And he credits the experience with McEnroe in Paris.
And you ache for people with those big ground strokes to take advantage of them, like a Steffi Graf. But it's so hard for them to change their games.
Game Agassi.
Ace number 3. And a 2-love lead in the second after winning the opening set 6-3.
Good time to pause and tie the shoes. Remember when John McEnroe used to do that all the time in his career? Things got a little tight. Somehow the shoes came untied. And it was a pretty good gimmick. Just settle yourself down. And
step out of the batter's box and knock the dirt off your cleats. Ace for Rostagno, number 5. Unforced errors, Agassi only 3 in the first set.
Yeah, there's a big difference there. They're both serving well. But Agassi's return, look at that. He sets it up with the low backhand that Rostagno really has to play well even to make the half volley. The backhand humming at his feet. And so Andre says, well, that big guy's up there. Let's see how high he can reach. Oh, again. No, it just missed.
Second serve.
Well, Bud, we watched him the last 2 years at Wimbledon. I don't think we've seen him hit the ball, strike it quite so confidently as he is today.
Well, the grass is a little better for him this year. It's hard. They've had a hot spring and early summer here. It's been 80 degrees yesterday, and they're getting a truer bounce off the hard court. And that's what he likes.
That's also going to favor, throughout this championship, Monica Seles and her style of play. And many feel that with this weather, Sellis's chances, although she's not the favorite to win Wimbledon, are increasing to make it 3 Grand Slams in '92. Oh,
Beauty.
well done. Rostagno holds, but it's Agassi leading by a set and up a break in the second.
Agassi leads the second.
On the line. So Agassi serving. 2-1 in the second. The comfort of a set advantage as he seeks a spot against Andrei Olhovsky of Moscow, who has upset Jim Courier. The winner of this will meet
15-all.
the 193rd player in the world on Monday in the round of 16.
Now, what Andre is not quite comfortable with is actually playing serve and volley. He'll come in behind a tough shot, but I think he ought to throw that in occasionally, too, just to show he's got it.
At the net, as expected, Rostagno a serve and volleyer. But Agassi, it's been fruitful for him.
Yeah, better percentage, certainly.
Mm.
40-15.
Mentioned Davis Cup. Andre Agassi is 4-0 this year in Davis Cup play and figures to be part of the semifinal match. Minneapolis in September.
Against the Swedes.
Game Agassi.
3-1 Agassi.
Agassi leads the second set, 3-1.
Rostagno has just not acted as though he's relaxed, and usually he's so insouciant, just flows through it. But Agassi, you know, I think he's a real contender for this title because he just feels better every time he plays.
15 love.
So, see how he takes that ball as quickly as it comes off the grass. And that's the secret to fine grass court play.
Took a pinpoint volley from Rostagno to win the point.
30 love.
The fellow who really destroyed Andre here, Andre came as a kid and played Henri Leconte. Well, Leconte can drive anybody crazy. And he's up at the net, and he's dibbing and dabbing and doing all this beautiful stuff and playing to the gallery. Andre lost and said, no more of this for me, and stayed away for 3 years. Finally reappeared last year, as he should have, as one of the top players in the game.
And found the British loved him.
Yeah.
30-15.
But if you're a real Agassi fan, how can you put up with him in all white? He let us down terribly.
You're still hanging on to that, aren't you?
And now he's got, we don't know about this panty girdle he wears. We got to get some
compression shorts.
Oh, it's either summer long underwear.
A lot of athletes, football players, some basketball players use that. Keeps the thighs warm. Nice and tight.
I see. It's a panty girdle where I come from.
40-15.
Keeps the thighs warm.
Well, did you see the one Sampras was wearing over his knees, for heaven's sakes?
Well, that's stylish.
I see.
Game Rostagno.
3-2, Agassi leads in the second.
Agassi leads 3 games to 2. Second set, and by 1 set to love.
Back to center court. It's Derek Rostagno and Andre Agassi on serve in the second set. Rostagno breaking Agassi in the 6th game to get back even in the set.
Tight spot for Andre at 15-30.
30 all.
Agassi trying to save his position in this set with Rostagno 2 points from evening this match.
$40-30.
Agassi cruising along, Bud, and just one opening for Rostagno in that 6th game, and he was able to convert. No break opportunity since.
Whoop.
Huge.
So John McEnroe and David Wheaton now will tune up over on court 1 following the Bates drama. And as soon as they put the ball in action, we'll be checking on their results.
Oh!
Advantage Agassi. Game Agassi.
Agassi holds. It's 5-all.
5 games all, second set.
Well, what excitement at the All England Club today.
Turning into a very, very good Wimbledon. Of course, weather helps. Last year, with the first week virtually rained out, it was kind of a moldy place to be.
Andre Olhovsky upsets Jim Courier, #1 in the world. Jeremy Bates, just a Brit to win is an upset, but for him to go to the 4th round, are they excited? In jolly old England, it'll be jolly tonight.
Al Picker of the Newark Star-Ledger, the dean of American tennis writers, asked Olhovsky, are there a lot of Olhovskys in Russia? And he said, I don't know, but my family comes from a little village called Olhov, and the family was named for that village.
$30.
Oh, gosh. Well, I don't think that shot happened. Let's just see how in the world Andre could pick this up. He's jammed by the serve. 5 steps and whip.
Painted the line, 30-15. Rostagno certainly picking up his game here in the second set.
Yeah, for a big man, he's starting to get down very well on that volley. His nose was about at tape level.
Been busy on his attacking approach. Not all that successful, only 30 conversions out of 55 trips, but getting better. And another for the game. It'll be Agassi serving to stay in the second set when we return.
Rostagno leads.
So some pressure on Andre Agassi, who seemed to be
Thank you.
cruising along as he's wont to do, whether it be on his sport car or motorcycle, and suddenly has to battle to maintain his lead.
15 love.
Won the opening set 6-3 with an early break. Rostagno's first service game. And broke him in the first game of this set.
30 love.
But Rostagno answered in the sixth game, and here we are at 5-6, 30 love.
Love.
Point from a tiebreak.
(40-15). Game Agassi.
Play court point.
6 games all, second set tiebreak.
Oh, the sudden death tiebreak. Rostagno and Agassi. Whom would be favored in a tiebreak of these two, Bud?
Well, I'm favoring Rostagno. Andre has not played tiebreakers well this year. 2-5.
(1-0) Rostagno.
It's wide.
2-0.
And Rostagno has an Abini break.
Rostagno.
John Newcomb used to say, of course, he was playing when the tiebreaker came in 1970 in the United States, that you just had to play every point like it was your last. You had to be daring. You could not compromise in a tiebreaker. And he was awfully good at them. Andre. Flip to one knee.
Sensational defensive lob, but Rostagno drills it back 3-1.
3-1 Rostagno.
Now he'll go down here. The first week, the grass is still a little green, as the players call it, a little slick.
Sappy.
It's got to get through. Oh!
Agassi earns back that break point. 3-2. So the inherent drama of a tiebreak, so important as they change ends 3-all.
The original rules said that the players had to keep moving. You were not permitted to take a drink, touch a towel, or anything. But what are you going to do to them?
We're going to see John McEnroe and Pat Cash in what could well be a match described in history from Wimbledon. That'll be tomorrow. Hope you'll be with us at 12 noon here on NBC. 3 hours of coverage, and hopefully John will come and offer his comments on that match.
4-3. Is he ever going to show up? I heard he was with us.
What a job to be able to play on Sundays while the rest of us work, and yet he's on the payroll. And Arthur Ashe will also be a special guest tomorrow, 9 o'clock out on the West Coast. Grab a cup of hot Java and join us.
Well, Arthur, it's so good to see Arthur looking well. You've read all about him, and so I suppose those of you who are fond of him, and there's so many who are, shudder to think about him. He looks well. He's doing his job here for home box office, and he speaks out about his condition without any hesitation.
Ooh, the double fault gives Agassi the lead 5-3. That's his 4th double fault. But Agassi now with a chance to serve for the second set and a 2-set lead. Beautiful stretch volley by Rostagno. 5-all.
5-all.
Now, Derek, not a very good return, but he decides to take it. That's being daring in the tiebreaker. And he was out of position, but it got him the point.
6-5, Agassi.
A set point for Agassi as Rostagno gets a chance at 2 service points. Is the great ally of Agassi again as he has taken the second set 7-5 in the tiebreaker. Andre Agassi now in command again. This crowd welcoming both men back on court. They're on serve. No breaks here in the third set. Agassi 6-3, 7-6, won the tie break 7 points to 5. And now a game away from victory, but Rostagno standing in the way at 4-5.
$15. $30.
What a good second serve, jamming Agassi.
A bit more luck for Rostagno when he goes to Agassi's forehand. Agassi's backhand has been the key weapon in this match.
So Rostagno is still putting his faith in the net rush. And it's
Ace right on the line. His 11th. It's 5-all.
5 games all. Third set.
Agassi with that two-handed backhand from the left side. That transfers to one of his other loves, the game of golf. Plays left-handed, although he's a right-handed in most of the things he does.
serve and volley. Third time in the match.
And it works for the third time. Mats Wilander, right-handed, and Ivan Lendl, another right-hander, play golf from the left side. Someone's got to buy those clubs. Six now for Agassi in the ace column. Do you play left-handed when you're on the golf course, Bud?
Not old enough to play golf, but I look forward to it. It's a very nice game.
Oh, right down the line off the forehand from Agassi.
40-15.
Keeping the pressure on.
Now he just... You can see Derek looking cross-court and got it down the line.
Does tend to make a man talk to himself.
Gee. Oh, boy!
Right off the baseline, Agassi picks that shot and drills it for another backhand winner. 6-5 in the third. So Derek Rostagno needs another big service game to stay in the match. They've been coasting along on serve in this third set.
Derek complaining to umpire Jay Snyder.
He made a call.
Why were you looking back?
Well, what was happening? Why weren't you were looking at him, right? Wondering why he called it in, right?
Yeah, he made a call.
It was like more than the Cyclops only covers 2 feet, right? You're replaying the point. Oh, I didn't hear
Derek
you say
didn't
it.
hear him say that. Jay Snyder immediately overruled the call, but we thought we'd listen in, and Jay says the point is being replayed. Now let's hear from Master Agassi.
Did he confirm that?
I heard the phone call. A loud phone call.
Did you make a foul call?
So the lines judge said, yes, I did make an out call. A delayed and a meek one. Nevertheless, it is
First serve.
first serve.
First serve.
Yes. Yes, sir. Put the ball into play.
The ball was put into play.
So was the serve out or in?
Jay Snyder, an American, says we're playing it over.
Right.
I liked his answer. Why is it the first serve? And he said, because it's the rule.
I got a beautiful friend here.
Another visit from the B.
Yeah, they're dangerous. The danger bees. Oh. Derek would like to play that one over, too.
Another whistling backhand return.
Quiet, please.
Net.
First serve.
Boy, that's a wonderful way to play the serve and volley game.
Net.
But Agassi's return certainly testing the full talent of Rostagno.
Well, it has. The counter puncher is on top in this match. Rostagno attacks, but Agassi's response has been stronger.
And now Andre Agassi, 2 points from advancing to the round of 16.
Quiet, please.
Terrible bounce.
Haven't seen many of those.
And for Andre Agassi, 1 point from victory. Obvious that Agassi is
Quiet,
the
please.
favorite of this crowd.
Thank you.
Many of them his age that slept all night just so they could have an opportunity to purchase tickets to center court.
The bed rolls along the fence. What a scene it is. That's really breakfast at Wimbledon.
Exactly 2 hours this match.
Oh,
On a double fault, Andre Agassi in straight sets. 6-3, 7-6, 7-5. And Agassi, a man that many feel is not suited to this grass surface. His game is disproving his critics. He's one of the Elite 16 that will play for the championship next week and will have his own supporting cast. An impressive winner again today.